Hello, what's up Facebook world? It's Dean. First off, sorry for the bad lighting. This is the best I can do. I searched everywhere in my place, and this is the best I could find. So welcome. If you're watching this, you probably joined because you're a beginner and you want to learn more about best practices on how to start. So the reason why I'm doing this live is because one of the biggest questions that I'm asked from people is, Kevin King is watching? Awesome. Hey, John. So one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because one of the biggest questions I'm asked is what's the best way to get started with yoga? Or how can I start doing yoga? How can I go to how do I go to a yoga studio? Which class do I go to? What type of yoga should I be trying to do? And there's a lot of questions, and I have a specific strategy that I kind of used when I was first starting out doing yoga, so I'm going to share that with you now. And by the way, if you're here and you're watching, I love to know where people are from, so if you're watching this right now, it'd be awesome if you could just comment and let me know where you are. Actually, based on where people are, based on people who are viewing and people who are joining programs and things like that on my website, those are the first cities we're going to be visiting and doing. Hey, Kevin. Kevin says New Jersey. So those are the places where we're going to be visiting and doing live workshops and doing in-person workshops and classes and that kind of thing. Christopher from Cincinnati, Kevin from New Jersey. Kevin, we're doing a workshop in New York, in Astoria, in the city, snowy Jersey City. Darius, right next to NYC. Darius, I hope to see you at that workshop. It's in New York City on April 21st, Saturday. John Soto, Texas, awesome. Christopher from Cincinnati. Christopher, we actually did a workshop in Cincinnati, I think like a year ago or maybe a year and a half or something like that. John Soto in Texas, awesome. I'm in Austin. All right, Metuchen, New Jersey. I will have to get tips on how to pronounce that. All right, so, and John Soto, where in Texas are you? I'm in Austin, but we plan on doing some stuff in Dallas, San Antonio, and in Houston eventually. So, all right, cool. So let's get into this. What's the best way to get started with yoga? And I'm going to go through all ways. So I'm not just going to tell you go sign up for my online program. I'm actually going to give you some tips on how to start on your own. Anyways, let's get into this. So what's the first way to do it? Let's say you're going to a yoga studio. Let's say you're going to learn in person. So when it comes to in-person yoga studio, the first part you want to look at is the type of yoga. So there are a few major types of yoga you're going to see. Seth is from North Georgia. Welcome. So there's a few major types of yoga, just general yoga, just common yoga you're going to see when you go to a studio. So some of the biggest are power yoga or vinyasa yoga. That's probably the most popular. That is commonly referred to as hot or heated yoga and also as power yoga. The second most popular is probably Bikram yoga. Bikram yoga is Bikram yoga is also referred to as hot yoga, but it makes normal hot yoga or vinyasa hot yoga look very tame compared to it. What is the best practice for neck issues? Sean, let me get to your question in a second. Thank you for asking. So you've also got Dharma yoga, which I don't know much about. That is a more holistic approach to yoga. That's more meditative. That's more spiritual, and I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it. And those are really the biggest three ones. And then you're going to find Hatha yoga. So Hatha yoga is postural, alignment-focused yoga, and that's going to focus on, honestly, I haven't been to a Hatha yoga class, but that's going to focus on technique as well, and that's more focused on holding the postures. And finally there is Yin yoga. which is the less common yoga. That's basically restorative yoga. That's yoga where you hold the poses for a long time and you stretch out a lot. That's a great class for restorative. All right, so let's go through these one more time. First one is vinyasa yoga, and that's the most common type of yoga you're going to find. That involves the movement of plank, cobra or up dog to down dog. So it's that repeated movement of going from a plank to an up dog, back to a down dog, and then from there stepping into another pose. So vinyasa is roughly translated to flow. So what that means is flowing from one pose to another. So it's a sequence. It has a specific format where you're going from one pose to the next pose, and you're kind of flowing from one pose to the next pose. So that can be meditative in a way because you're moving constantly. You're flowing, so you're kind of establishing that connection between your breath and your body. And it's a good workout. That was a lot of what I did when I first moved to Austin. Almost all I did was vinyasa yoga or power yoga. Power yoga, I would say, is more a combination of yoga and a little bit of calisthenics. So you're going to be you might do some push-ups in a power yoga class. You're going to be doing crow pose, so kind of advanced stuff like a little bit of arm balancing. Power yoga, you're going to be sweating a little bit more. It's more of an intense workout. Poses are going to move quickly. You're going to be moving from one pose to the next. Typically, you don't hold the poses for a long time. Bikram yoga. Bikram yoga is a specific 26 posture sequence. The same 26 postures every time. You do one posture, you switch sides, and then you do that posture on the opposite side again. So you do left, right, and then you go back to left, and then you do right, and then you move on to the next exercise. So there's a specific sequence, 26 postures, and it's a very intense workout. There's no dynamic movement. It's holding the posture and just holding it for a very long time, and then switching and doing the opposite side. So it's do left, do right, do left, do right, and so on and so forth. This class lasts 90 minutes. It's typically done at 105 degrees. If it's anything less than that, then you're doing something wrong. So it's a very intense class. It's very hot. You're going to sweat buckets. One time I measured how much sweat I actually put onto a towel, and I was able to squeeze out an entire bottle, my towel into an entire 32-ounce Gatorade bottle. And that's gross, but that's how much you're going to sweat. You literally sweat like a gallon. So it's a ton. And that is a very intense workout. I do not recommend that if you're a beginner or if you have back problems of any sort. And then the third one we talked about was Dharma yoga. Honestly, I don't know a lot about Dharma yoga, so I'm not going to touch on that, but I can tell you that it's not very fitness focused. And then fourth, we've got yin yoga, which is restorative yoga. That's a great class for anybody. There's minimal technique required. You're probably not going to get injured in a yin yoga class unless you're pushing yourself too much. But in a good yin yoga class, you're going to have lots of support. You're going to have lots of kind of pillows and straps and things to help support your body so that you can get into the position you need to, get the stretch you want, and not be hurt. So, those are the four types. Vinyasa is the most common. Seth, I'm getting to your question. Thank you for reminding me. So vinyasa is the most common, and that's going to apply to, I think, the most people because vinyasa tries to be as broad as possible. They try to, they're going to try and attract the most variable or the most varied type of people. Now, within all these types of yoga, it really comes down to the instructor. With the exception of Bikram yoga, where you do the same sequence every time, the actual workout and how good it is and how effective it is or what you focus on when it comes to physical or spiritual or emotional, it's going to depend on the instructor. So it's all on the instructor, whether or not it's going to be a really tough workout, whether it's going to be a very easy restorative workout. It really comes down to the instructor. So, Seth, that quickly answer your question, best for neck problems, you have to find a class that's specific for neck problems, or you have to find a yoga program specifically for neck problems. If you go to a general yoga class, they're going to give you a general class, not specific to neck problems, and you may end up injuring yourself. So For neck problems, you're going to want to pick a program that's specifically focused on neck and on spine. The problem with most yoga classes is that they do way too many forward folds and not enough back bending. Now, this is great for relieving tension, forward folds, but the problem is that most people do forward folds too deeply, and they have problems. With the fold, and they fold too deeply. They can fold too much in their back. They don't use their core. This can cause hernias. This can cause straining back muscles, and it's bad. So basically, you want to make sure that you're selecting a program or going to a yoga class specifically for neck pain. Don't go to just general class, and you're going to want to talk to someone. You need to talk to a trainer. You need to talk to an instructor. Or you need to talk to a good instructor, not just someone who teaches a random class, but you need to talk to someone who actually focuses on fitness, maybe someone with some experience. A physical therapist would be great. That's how you're going to want to find a class for neck specifically. Michelle, to answer your question, hip and shoulder opening, it's easy to do it. It's very easy to do that, Michelle. What I would recommend for you is to go to a vinyasa class, move slowly, listen to the instruction, find an instructor that you like, and go from there. You can test out, usually with yoga, you can do a week free. You can go do a free week trial, so that way you can try out a lot of different yoga studios and try out some different classes and try out different instructors. Figure out one that you jive with, and then start developing a relationship with them, so that they will give you tips. They will let you know what you should and shouldn't be doing, what you should be focusing on, what you need to focus more on, that kind of thing, if they see you coming to your class over and over again. Seth, let's go back to neck for a little bit. So most people have neck problems because they spend way too much time, right, doing this throughout the day, right? So we spend most of our day, we're either looking at our phone or we're hunched over a computer. This is a problem because we're not staying upright, we're not using our core, we're not having good posture, and so this usually leads to neck pain. So there's a few things you want to do for neck pain. Number one, you want to get into that upright position. You want to work on your core strength. Number two, you want to work on mobility through your neck. So we're going to start turning from right side to side, working on twists. And then level 3, we're going to start working on back bending. So we're going to start looking up at the ceiling, moving your neck up like so, keeping length in your neck. So those are some things you want to focus on when it comes to neck pain. Scoliosis, yeah. So Seth, so in general, what you want to do is kind of a full body yoga program that's going to focus on your spinal mobility. And as you do yoga more and more, as you work on your alignment, that's going to reduce the effects of scoliosis. That's going to help bring your spine back into a more neutral alignment. So, yeah. And you can go to a general yoga class, but again, be careful. Don't fold forward too deeply. Focus on strengthening your core. And that's what I would focus most on. I would focus on your core, and I would focus on your posture. Don't focus on folding as deep as you possibly can. Don't focus on going as deep as you possibly can into the postures. Work on slowly getting your range of motion back, slowly bringing your spine back to a normal neutral position, and that's going to help your neck pain. All right, let's move on to Bikram yoga. So I touched on Bikram yoga before. Bikram yoga is a very good workout. It's a very intense workout, but it's probably not suitable for most people. Bikram yoga requires you to really push deep into the postures. It can be very intense, and the instructors are taught to tell you to push, push, push. This is a problem because most people push and they don't have good technique yet. So they can injure their back, they can injure their spine, they can pull a muscle. So Bikram yoga is very intense, but I highly recommend moving slowly and not pushing yourself for the first few months. Really work to understand the technique. Really work to understand what you should be feeling in your body as you're doing the exercises, and then you can start to push yourself. But going to a Bikram yoga class and pushing yourself the first time, probably not a great idea. You could end up injured. But other than that, I think if you're good at yoga, or if you have yoga experience and you're smart in your approach to your workout with yoga, I think that Bikram yoga is a fantastic workout. Another thing, it's really good for your spinal mobility. It's really good for your hip mobility. It's good for core strength, but it doesn't do. The problem with it is it's the same 26 poses over and over again, so there's not a lot of variety, which means that you'll get strong initially, but at some point you're going to hit a plateau because you're just doing the same workout over and over and over again. And if you know anything about fitness, you'll know that you have to change your workout every couple of months or so in order to improve. All right, let me get this one question. Dustin, I only use your programs. On your program, is there one you would suggest on shoulder pain, tendonitis in my right shoulder? Hey, Dustin. Yeah, so what I would recommend is I would recommend going into the workout library, searching for shoulders, and then searching for restorative shoulder workouts. So that's going to help you with, Seth, you're welcome. So Dustin, that's going to help you find a workout and find the right stretches that you should be doing to help with the inflammation in your shoulder. But then also what you want to start doing is doing some pulling exercises. So I think I have some resources in the members area or in the wellness section on pulling. So I would make sure you start doing some pulling exercises. Start doing some resistance band work. If you have access to a gym, start doing some rowing. Start doing some lat pull downs. Start doing some pull-ups. You really want to strengthen your back to help with your shoulders. That's going to help out. All right. Kevin King, how do you classify Manful Yoga? That's a good question. So I think Manful Yoga is kind of a combination between, honestly, my goal with Manful Yoga was to take all of the different types of yoga and kind of combine them into the most effective version. So what I've heard someone describe it before is a slow burn power yoga. And that's what I think that's a really good way to classify it. So when I say slow burn power yoga, that means that we hold the postures for a long time. We're trying to create that burn sensation or that burning feeling in your muscles that tells you that you're getting stronger, that tells you that your muscles are getting fatigued. So we hold the postures for a long time so that we can not only develop endurance and develop isometric strength, but we're also sinking deeper into the postures, so we're getting more mobile. My biggest problem when I was doing yoga was that that the poses were moving so fast that I didn't have a chance to actually work into the poses before they would switch to the next pose. And I was like, no, not yet. Let me hold it for a little bit longer, because I wasn't flexible. So it took me some time to be able to work deeper into the poses. So that was one of the things I wanted to do with Manful Yoga. So we made the poses last longer so that you'd have more time to get into the poses and develop more mobility. But at the same time, this also helps you get stronger because we're holding the poses for longer. So that's a big differentiation. And because of that, I would say it's called a slow burn power yoga. It also has similarities to Hatha yoga because it has a really a very powerful emphasis on technique, making sure that you have the right alignment, making sure that you're doing the right things with every part of your body, feeling it in the right areas. So in that sense, it could also be considered kind of Hatha inspired. Bikram and yoga, because sometimes it's just hard as hell. Hey, let's try it. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Dustin, yeah, I hope that information on the shoulder was helpful for you. Usually when it comes to shoulder pain, it's because people don't have strong enough scapular stabilizers. So the muscles between your shoulder blades, so these muscles right here, the ones that squeeze your shoulder blades together like this, those muscles get really weak throughout the day because, again, we're always hunched forward. We do a lot of stuff in front of us, but we're not pulling things. And so that imbalance causes shoulder pain. And even in yoga, we don't do there's no pulling in yoga. We can do a cobra, right? We can do a cobra, but we can't mimic pulling an external force. So nothing in yoga mimics me pulling a weight this way. We can do this, right? We can squeeze the muscle and engage it, but that's not going to develop strength. That's just developing muscle activation. In order to develop strength in the upper back, we actually have to do pulling exercises. So we have to do pull-ups. We have to do rows. We have to do shoulder rotations. We have to do external shoulder rotation, internal shoulder rotation. We have to work on things that you're not going to find in yoga in order to help balance your shoulders. So yoga is part of the solution. It's not all of it. You've got to do more than yoga. You've got to make sure that you're doing resistance training to keep your shoulders happy, and also doing mobility work. So like with stuff with lacrosse balls, where you're rolling on your traps, or you're rolling between your shoulder blades, or you're rolling on your pecs to help relieve stiffness and tightness in your pecs, because your pecs get really tight because we're in this position of hunched forward all the time, and you need to do something about that. The problem's not going to fix itself. So yeah, posture has a lot to do with that. And when you have better, once you strengthen your back, once you build muscle in your back, you're actually going to have better posture too. So if you want to have better posture, you want to look more confident, work on your upper back strength, do more pulling exercises. All right, what other questions do I have? Since I've just expanded my my little spiel on shoulders and necks and yeah. I wish Topo would sponsor me. Topo, if you're watching this right now, please send me free Topo on a monthly basis. I need 30 a month, if possible. 35. Josue, hello. All right, any other questions? Beginners to yoga. All right, so I'm going to start on the next part, which is learning yoga on your own. So if there's a couple ways to do this. Number one, the free route. The free route, if you're a millennial, you know what YouTube is. Kevin, I'm a big guy. Can I be successful? Yes. I feel no need to explain that any further. The answer is yes. You're going to be way more successful with yoga than you are with other things because you probably can't run. It's going to hurt your knees. It's going to hurt your feet too much, and you don't have the core strength yet. You probably can't do cardio because it's just going to hurt your joints. You can do weight training and you can do yoga right now, and that's what I recommend you do. Swimming, yes, you can do swimming too. But if you're overweight, you absolutely need yoga. You need to develop that control over your body. You need to build just strength with your body. You need to do weights too, because weights are going to help you build muscle. That's going to help you burn fat. And swimming just to help your body move, and cardio. But if you're a bigger guy, running is going to be difficult. It's going to hurt your body more than help it. So yoga, weightlifting, swimming, and if you want to do cycling too, I guess you could do cycling if you want a bit of cardio. But I wouldn't recommend cycling because it just does your quadriceps and your core, and that's it, and your hips and your thighs. But it doesn't do. It's the same position over and over again. Kevin, yeah, you can go for like a little bit of running, but you're not going to go you're not going to go for like a 45-minute jog. You might kind of do an alternate between jogging and walking. You don't want to hurt yourself, so listen to your body. If your knees and your feet start hurting, you need to back off. It means you need to work on your hip strength and your ankle strength. Okay, so I had another question. Let's see here. Oh, I was talking about online. All right, so I'm not a runner. Cool. Then you won't be offended by my answer. All right, so let's get back to the online training. So how do you do online training? The first option is the free option. And if you're a millennial, you know this. You know that you can go on YouTube and find a workout for free and do it. So the problem with this is not necessarily the best content is going to go straight to the top of YouTube. It's going to be the most popular content. Also, it's very hard to find the right things on YouTube. You might start doing a workout and then 5 minutes in, you're going to hate the workout and you're going to say, oh shit, I just wasted 5 minutes. Seth, do you have yoga DVDs out? Yes, Seth, I have DVDs on my website. Go to manfulyoga.com/shop/DVD, or just go to manfulyoga.com/shop, and then there's a DVD section. So training online, YouTube, the free way, that's great. It's easy to find tons of workouts, but it's hard to find the right workout that you need. The second way, you've got tons of online websites like Yoga Glow and Yoga International, and these basically take a bunch of workouts and put them into basically take a bunch of workouts and put them into an online database for you. I don't really do anything with this because I just don't. So if you want to, pay $7-8 a month, you can get on those, and you'll be able to access tons of workouts. To me, it doesn't seem any different than a YouTube channel, except it's all in one place, so it's a little bit easier to find. But again, there's tons of workouts there. There's like 2,000. I think most of them I see have thousands of workouts on there. So sometimes it's tough to find a workout that you want, and there's tons of different instructors, so you might be able to get in and find a workout that you like. But I honestly don't know I couldn't tell you the difference between that and just using like YouTube, because you can probably find much of the same, if not much of the similar, if not the same content. So yeah. And then the third way to do that is to find a specific instructor online that you like and pay their premium so that you can get access to their workouts and get access to more of their workouts. That is the most expensive route. I guess prices for that kind of range between $20 to $50 a month. I haven't seen $50 a month, but I need to get an app on Apple TV. Dustin, just use your mobile browser and you'll be able to do all of that. We are working on an app, but we don't have a solution yet. So Dustin, we're working on it, but I don't have an answer for you on when it will be ready. But in the meantime, you can use a mobile browser, or you can use a Chromecast, or you can use an HDMI cable, hook it up to your laptop, and you can watch it on your TV. It's really easy to do that. I use that when I'm like watching Game of Thrones or something, and I don't have my, I'm just not on my TV or I'm streaming it. I'll just hook up my laptop to an HDMI cable, plug it in the TV, it works fine. But yeah, we'd love to work on it. We'd love to have an app. We're working on it. Yeah. So again, so your third option, the premium option, is to find an instructor that you like, pay their monthly premium, get access to their workouts, get reliable access to their workouts, and also support the person who's doing it. So that's what I do. That's what I do with Man-Fly Yoga. We do a monthly cost. So we have like a monthly cost, or we have a yearly cost, and then you get access to all of my workouts, all of my programs, and you get to be part of the Man-Fly Yoga community. To my knowledge, that's probably similar to what a lot of other people do. But yeah, so that's the option number 3, is a premium option. Or you can even do one step above that, which is kind of the hold my hand option, and you can train with someone via webcam. I do that to some extent. I know that I used to do that way more than I do now. I don't do that as much anymore. But you can usually find someone, you can work with someone via webcam. You can do Skype, you can do Google Hangouts, and you can work with someone via webcam and do like a live session, in your home while working with someone, wherever they are in the world, as long as they have internet. So that's another way to do it. So you've got free options, you've got like $10 a month options, you've got like $20 to $50 a month options, and then you've got, whatever, $50 to $100 a session options where you're working with someone one-on-one via webcam. And then the other option that I didn't mention is you can work with yoga instructors in person. Most yoga instructors aren't paid a lot by the yoga studio. They're only going to make like, some will make as few as $12 an hour. Some will make a lot of money. If you're really a good yoga instructor, if you're a popular yoga instructor in LA, you could walk out of a class with $1,000 for an hour. But that's a very, 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 very small percentage of yoga instructors are making that much every time they do a class. The point is, you can probably get a yoga instructor to do a private class for you for a very reasonable amount, probably between the $50 and the $80 or $100 range. So if you want to work with someone one-on-one, that is a great way to be able to work on your specific strengths and work on your specific areas of opportunity, and you get real-time feedback in person. So if you have the money for it, if you can spend $50-$60 a session as opposed to $15 or $20 a session, I would highly recommend finding a yoga instructor that you like and setting up private sessions with them. You're going to get way more out of that. It's going to be totally worth your time. And then even if you only meet with them once per week, You can work with them to kind of develop your own program. As long as you remember the poses, you can do it on your own. And then you come back to them and you meet with them, whenever you do, you'll be able to treat it like a lesson and continually learn from it. That's how I run my webcam training. I don't treat my one-on-one workouts as lessons, or as workouts. They're lessons. So when we get together, I want you to value your time with me, and I want you to work out on your own. So what I do is I teach as much as I can in that one session, and then I give you homework to do. So that's how my webcam training works. I'm sure you can arrange that with the people that you find. But yeah, it's really easy to, rather than just stick with your blueprints and your membership, you always answer if there's any questions. I don't have any blueprints. I'm just spitballing here, man. I have no script. But thanks, Dustin. But yeah, so lots of options. It's very easy to find something free on YouTube. You can pay a few bucks per month, get something on like Yoga International or like Yoga Glow. I don't put myself in the same category as that because I know that I'm a premium service. I create workout programs. I give you access to me. I give you tutorials. I give you more content. And I'm constantly creating more and more content. So I don't consider myself in the Yoga Glow or the Yoga International category. Don't compare me to them. If you say, Dean, it's cheaper to do that, I'm going to say, yeah, it is, but it's not as good. So you've got the premium option, let's say 20 to 50 bucks, actually like maybe 15 to 50 bucks a month. It could be anywhere between that. And then you've got the super premium option where you're working with someone one-on-one. If you have the money to do it, I highly recommend it. Yoga instructors don't get paid. Most yoga instructors don't get paid a lot. Who am I kidding? Yoga instructors don't get paid a lot. If there's a yoga instructor who's making a lot of money, it's because they're an entrepreneur and they know how to do their shit. And they're doing much more than just going to a yoga studio and teaching classes. So, yeah. So those are my tips. Those are all the different ways you can do yoga. What other questions are there? Because I think I'm running out of breath. I haven't even, look at this. I barely had any of this topo. I opened this with the intention of drinking it. Topo, this is my favorite drink. When I go out to the bars and I don't want to drink, I'll just order a Topo Chico. To me, it feels like a beer. It feels like something I'm having and winding down while drinking. It's fizzy, it's carbonated. I had lime in it, so it tastes good. Helps with digestion, helps me burp, helps me poop. So I'm happy when I'm drinking Topo. Kevin, it's mineral water. So it's like LaCroix or Pellegrino. More similar to Pellegrino, except more fizzy and more carbonated than Pellegrino. All right. I think that's all. I'm going to scroll through here and just see if there's any other questions that I missed. Dustin, I know. I've got to get a nap. It's a good idea. It is. I'm working on it, man. Kevin, thanks for your questions. Seriously, don't be discouraged if you're a bigger guy and you think that yoga is not for you. All you need is a yoga program that doesn't assume that all you need is a yoga program that doesn't assume you're a 110-pound girl, basically. You need a program that teaches you, hey, here's a way that you should do your workout. Here's a way that you should do your workout with your body. I actually have a program. Oh, check this out. Kevin, I have a workout. I'm going to find it for you right quick. I have a program called, straight up, it's called Yoga for Fat Guys. It's unabashedly calling it Yoga for Fat Guys. And this is just a 6-minute preview of a workout. But there's that workout, Yoga for Fat Guys. Kevin, would Manflow be for me? Absolutely. We provide modifications for the postures, so you're going to figure out how the poses work for you. I've also got a full workout. I've also got that full workout in my members area. So if you try that out and it's working for you, or if you feel like you can somewhat do it, I've got that full workout in the members area. I think it's a pretty long one. I think that's a 50 or 55-minute workout. And you can kind of break that up into different chunks. You can do as much as you can some days or more other days. But and you're gonna find a lot of workouts that work for you, even if they're not called that. Because I make my workouts assuming that people aren't flexible, because that was how I started and that was what I needed. So I continue to make workouts for people who aren't flexible. So, Kevin, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, or you can just send me a message here on Facebook. I will see the message there. Yep, you're welcome, dude. Dustin says, Kevin, definitely worth it. Just know whatever you can't do, just hold off and start off slow. Yeah, Dustin, good advice. Just do your best. Go slowly. Don't push yourself too much. Just do what you can. Take it slow. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying hard and you're putting your body in new positions, you're going to see results pretty quickly. The cool thing about this is you start to feel the differences in your body very quickly. You'll feel it within the first week. You're going to feel, your body's going to feel better. You're going to feel less stiff. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to feel more mobile, like more flexible. You're just going to move and feel a lot better. And then as you start doing it more and more, you're going to start losing weight because you're building muscle. And by working out, you're going to be more conscious of what you're eating. So, yeah, dude, just get started. I think you're really going to be happy with it. As long as you stick with the program or you stick with the workouts and you just do 2 or 3 a week, you start cleaning up your diet, make sure you're taking care of your sleep. And we've got an awesome community. Like, Dustin's part of our Manful Yoga community. Dustin's part of our Manful Yoga community, and when you join, you get to join our Manful Yoga community, and it's a pretty awesome community. We share pictures of us doing yoga. We share, we talk about questions other people have. We share our experiences with workouts. We welcome new members. I do live stuff like this. Yeah. All right, I think I had another question. Topor's mineral water, made in Monterrey, Mexico. Sí, Moreno. Mexico. Oh, crap, I missed a comment. Where did it go? Oh, no. Where'd it go? I missed the comment. Crap. Where'd it go? Oh, John Ward. I'm 56 and practice power yoga for a few years and currently practicing gentle yoga now. While I still get the same flexibility and benefits. John, I don't see why you wouldn't get as compared to like gentle yoga versus like power yoga. No, you're probably not going to get the same benefits. You're probably not taxing you're probably not doing enough to stress your muscles. So you're probably losing some muscle mass, and your joints are probably getting looser. So you're potentially at a higher risk of injury. You may have lowered stress. But you do want to introduce stress into your body in a systematic way, which is what you do with working out. So if you're not going to do power yoga, I would recommend doing some resistance training. So, do some push-ups, do some pull-ups, do some stuff with weights. Get access to a gym, or just use if you live in an apartment building or a condo, or you have a little equipment you can work with. Building muscle is really important. Maintaining muscle mass is important. You're not going to do that with gentle yoga. So you need to do some resistance training in addition to gentle yoga. All right, cool. I think that's Topo's mineral water. I got that last comment. All right, guys. So there's no other questions, so I'm going to sign off. Thanks for joining me for this live session. And yeah, make sure you, if you're watching this and you're also on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll do stuff over there that I don't do over here. So like last week I did an AMA session on YouTube. So you may have missed that. So I put content on YouTube, I put it on Instagram, and I put it on Facebook. So I use the 3 regularly, and I put different stuff on all of them. Kevin, you're very welcome. Thank you for asking questions and being open to my answers. That means a lot to me. I know there's a lot of stuff on the website. I know there's a ton of stuff on the internet, tons of people you can talk with. So, thank you for asking me. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. I put a ton of content out there that you won't see on Facebook. And that's the best way. That's the best place for you to check out some of my workouts, check out some of my programs, my tutorials, learn a little bit more about me. And yeah, so there's tons of content there. And then if you're looking for more workouts and more programs, basically you know, the bigger, the better. That's the members area, and that's where I put all of my workouts. That's where I put my workout programs. Yeah, so that's the top level stuff. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'll be doing this. We'll be doing a live workout Wednesday. So that's going to be next Wednesday, which is the 14th, Pi Day, 3/14. At 12 p.m. Central Time. So join me then. We're going to do a live workout. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a quick 15-minute thing, and we'll have a specific focus. I'll let you guys know about what the focus is probably later on in the week. But remember to maybe mark it on your calendar, or you know, just remember Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Time. Join me here live. And if you can't make it live, it'll be posted later on. You can watch it later. All right, guys. Have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Oh, Shugato, you had a question. You said something about removing belly fat. Build muscle, so do yoga, do muscle, weight lift, clean up your diet. That's non-negotiable. You have to clean up your diet if you want to lose weight, and minimize your stress. All right, see you guys later.